Welcome. In today's special analysis, we're tackling something that hits, well, incredibly close to home for anyone caught up in the high-speed hustle of modern life. We're going to explore this massive, fundamental difference between simply understanding the mechanics of our existence and actually feeling it.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want to give you this cold, hard hook before we even really begin our story today. Are you living your life, or are you just reading about it? We so often confuse accumulating knowledge with, accumulating actual experiences. But as we're about to see from our source text, they are vastly, vastly different things.
Section 1, Arav's story, knowing or experiencing. Let's meet Arav. He's this highly intelligent young guy with just an absolute, insatiable curiosity about life.
But this curiosity, it manifested as an absolute obsession with reading, analyzing, and figuring out the mechanics of absolutely everything rather than actually experiencing the world right in front of him. Like when his friends would say, "Hey, it's raining, let's go out and grab some tea," Arav's response was just astonishing. He'd literally say, "Well, why does it rain? How do clouds form? Only after I understand all of this will I truly enjoy the rain." His friends would just kind of laugh and walk away. And this habit ran so deep that one day when his mom asked him to just sit with his grandfather, who had just arrived from their village, Arav's response was, "Not right now, Mom. I need to finish a book about life." He literally ignored living his actual life just so he could finish a book about it.
Section 2, Later Never Comes. As Arav transitioned into adulthood, this whole mindset morphed into something far more dangerous. Arav developed this incredibly strict mental roadmap. And now what's really interesting about this slide is that it looks perfectly logical, right? Step 1, make a lot of money. Step 2, spend time with family. Step 3, travel and sit with friends. And then finally, Step 4, enjoy life. But here is the tragic flaw in this perfectly calculated equation. Point number 4 never actually arrives. Later is a destination we simply never reach.
This whole illusion of later was really put to the test when his childhood friend, Nishant, called him up. Nishant was like, "Arav, let's go. We haven't been anywhere together in years. Let's visit the old village this Sunday and remember the good old days." And Arav, predictably, just brushed him off. He said he was way too busy with work and, maybe they could go in a few months. Nishant simply replied with, "Time waits for no one." But Arav, completely absorbed in his little roadmap, just went right back to the daily grind.
Section 3, Grandfather's Greatest Lesson. A few months after that phone call, Arav finally made time to visit his old village. He walked up and saw his childhood home. The exact same courtyard was there. The old familiar tree was still standing exactly where it always had. But his grandfather was gone. The man he had made wait just so he could finish reading a book about life was no longer there.
Standing there, just completely overwhelmed, Arav remembered a really profound conversation. His grandfather had once smiled at him and asked, "Are you living life or just knowing about it?" He told him, "Life is not a math book where you have to find the answer to every question before moving forward. It's like music. It is more important to experience it than to understand it." At the time, Arav didn't take it seriously at all, but now, the emotional weight of his passing and this unrealized wisdom, it hit him with devastating force. Sitting under that old tree for a long, long time, Arav began this really painful self-interrogation. He realized he had entirely missed life while waiting for the good life to officially start. He asked himself this deeply piercing question: I learned so much about the science of rain, but how much did I actually get wet? And the questions, they just kept coming, building on one another. He thought, I read all the greatest books on success, but how much did I actually laugh with my family? He had spent hours upon hours reading about the importance of time, the management of time, but he failed entirely to actually give that time to the people who mattered most. And finally, the ultimate question. I read endless books about life, but how many small, simple moments did I actually enjoy? It was a heartbreaking realization. By the time he felt he had acquired enough knowledge, enough money, and enough stability to finally start living, he looked back and saw that countless beautiful moments, wonderful people, and fleeting opportunities had already been left behind in his pursuit of completion.
But from that heartbreak came a beautiful and immediate transformation. Arav made a promise to himself that very day. Life is not just to be understood, it is to be lived. And the very next morning, the entire pace of his life changed. Step 1, he woke up early, had tea with his mother, and for the first time in years, truly asked her, "Mom, how are you?"
She smiled and noted it was literally the first time he had genuinely asked. Step 2, when it rained, he walked right out without an umbrella and just let himself get soaked. He didn't learn any new facts about precipitation, but he finally experienced the rain. Step 3, he met his old friends, sat down, and just laughed. He finally realized that true joy requires presence and time, not just money or grand orchestrated events.
Section 4. The true meaning of life. So the crucial point is, Arav's story isn't just about Arav, is it? It's about our own daily habits. It makes you wonder, how often do we place conditions on our own existence?
Think about the excuses we all make every single day. First, let me make money, then I'll enjoy life. First, let me build a house, then I'll travel. First, let me succeed, then I'll give my family some time. Or, first, let me solve all my problems, then I'll be happy. We have to realize the ultimate, unavoidable truth drawn from our source text here. The problems never completely end, and the time we spend waiting, it never, ever comes back.
The true meaning of life doesn't lie in finding the answer to every single question before you allow yourself to breathe. It lies in being happy, even when some questions remain unanswered. In old age, a person rarely regrets that they didn't know enough facts about the world. What they regret is lacking connection, that they spent too little time with their people, laughed too little, traveled too little, and shelved their absolute favorite moments for a later that simply never materialized.
Section 5. Final message. Live today. Let's take a step back and look at the broader philosophical takeaway of Arav's journey.
Every single day, we face a choice. Knowing life means constantly seeking umbrellas, staring down at phones instead of up at faces, and endlessly calculating our time. On the other hand, experiencing life means actually letting a few drops of rain hit your face, looking deeply into your family's eyes when you sit with them, and counting memories instead of minutes. And this brilliantly illustrates that we must stop calculating and start connecting. Life is a book, yes, but you don't have to speed read every page just to get to the end. You have to pause on some pages, laugh, cry, love, and actually build memories.
Before you go back to your busy day, I really want to leave you with this final lingering thought. It is not necessary for life to be long. It is necessary that the moments lived in life are long remembered. The true value of life isn't in how much we knew, but in how much we lived, how much we enjoyed, and how much joy we brought to others. So I have to ask you, are you going to keep analyzing your life today, or are you finally going to step out and experience the rain?